Say it ain't so, man. Holy shit. There we go. The Eagles finally part ways, which means they fired their asses. Mike Groh, the offensive coordinator, and Carson Walsh, where the hell his goddamn name was, wide receiver coach. And you know we all been complaining all year about this. Get this guy the hell out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I was on Joey Shake Show. Get him out of here. Mike Groh has got to go. I've been saying that for weeks. Yeah, hashtags. People started hashtagging and started saying it on Twitter or Instagram, whatever you want to call it. He's out of here. And you know what? I'm happy we made the playoffs and all, but I thought, damn, they make the playoffs. They might keep this guy. This guy is literally the definition of not knowing how to run an offense. Now, look, I know Doug is the main play caller, so he's the one who, at the end of the day, makes the plays, or calls the plays, decides what's called at this play or that play or this play or that play. But like I said 100 times, you go back to 2017, the year we won the Super Bowl, or even 2016, even though it was Doug's first year, we did solid. Our offense was still moving and grooving, and you tell it still worked because they had Frank Reich and John DeFilippo, a quarterback coach. Okay? Now there is some people saying, well, maybe let's bring Deuce Staley. Listen, man, I'm done with Deuce. Deuce will not be an offensive coordinator here. And if he does become one, then whatever. I guess I have to support it, even though I just think, okay, give the guy a shot. He tried so much. But then again, I don't want that. Because this was the problem from the jump. Promoting from within. Now, last year, I thought Mike Groh should have been fired. And everyone said, hey, look what we overcome. We started out slow, and then we made this big run again with Foles, and we got to the playoffs. Yeah. And then this year, the same thing, but without Foles. Forget about him. Big thing, the Mixo boom, they out of nowhere near the end of the season, they start putting it together. And with hurt players and injured players and practice squad guys, they start just ripping it off and getting it going and getting it done. And I said, nah, man, I'm not falling for this. Because I did start to fall for it. Because yesterday in the press conference, Doug Peterson said those two guys will keep their jobs. I said, you know what? I guess I'm okay with it. Because I gave them a lot of flack, those coaches and that coaching staff. But they put it together when it mattered most. But then I quickly look back and I say, you know what? If we have to stick with them for one more year, that's fine. Then I say, you know what? I can't. I said late game and late year pushes 2 years in a row ain't going to break it. 9-7 records, 10-6 records ain't going to break it. I want you to be consistent week in, week out offense. I want the offense week in, week out to be consistent. Not third down stupid play call or design or it's not creative. I want to bring in, and you know what? Everyone's talking about the Press Taylor, or whatever coach, quarterback coach, whatever. Deuce Staley. I don't want none of that. Like I've been saying from the beginning, and the guy tweeted me on Twitter today and says, gee, how do you feel? We still going to go with what you said, outside eyes? Yes, I want to go with outside eyes. I want someone from outside the organization to come into this organization and show new schemes, techniques, concepts of play calling on offense, and Doug can incorporate that into his game plan as he calls his own offense, but also incorporates another person's type of offense. So then it's a mixture of things, just like the Frank Reich thing. I also want to bring someone in who is looking to become a head coach. You know why? Because then he's going to be hungry, calling the best plays, doing the best he can. And I look at a lot of guys, and I like Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden was fired by the Redskins. I think you look at him, you look at his record, you say, hey, you know what? The guy wasn't a good head coach, but him in Cincinnati, he had some of Andy Dalton's top years and A.J. Green's top years. Okay? But this name just came there. I totally forgot he was even out there until I seen he's emerged as one of the two top candidates, and that's Jim Caldwell. I'll take Jim Caldwell in a heartbeat. This guy is known as a quarterback whisperer. He takes the best out of these talents. He's coached Peyton Manning, the two MVPs, the Super Bowl appearance, 7 Pro Bowls. I know that's Peyton Manning, though. Anyone can do that. I understand that. But then I look at Joe Flacco. What did he do with him? He took him on to that big playoff run, 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, called the right plays, did the right things to get Joe Flacco in the right situations. Then Matt Stafford was there and had Matt Stafford to become a Pro Bowler, his only Pro Bowl selection. Also, 2 out of 3 Matt Stafford's playoff appearances, he was the head coach and the play caller for those things. And there's more quarterbacks too if you keep going down. These are back then guy, this guy, yeah. But he has a real good history with quarterbacks. And I see him as a guy that he can come in here. He can see he's not really ever had a talent like Carson Wentz, a quarterback. Because you look at the 3 guys I named, they're kind of like statues, but they can move around a little. But he sees Wentz, and if he can somehow think of today's game and say, hey, you know what? Let's incorporate the bootlegs like we've been talking about, the rollout plays, all that, and incorporate into Carson Wentz's game. This thing can turn to a whole different level. There's another guy out there people want is, what's his name? Mike Kafka. Excuse me. He's a quarterback coach right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Used to be a quarterback here. He's familiar with Doug, of course. He's familiar with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's kind of got the connection here. We can make him, and he's been coaching Pat Mahomes for the past few years. He can come here as an offensive coordinator and now be able to design plays. Not call them, but design them. So he's another one I like. Also, the guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the Baltimore Ravens quarterback coach. They were saying how you get him in here, you make him an offensive coordinator. You've seen what he's done with Lamar Jackson and a little bit with Flacco, but mostly with Lamar Jackson. And he can kind of incorporate those RPOs and some of those run plays or rollout plays they do for Lamar Jackson with Carson Wentz. So there's many options, and I'll tell you this, the offense is definitely going to expand next season. That's all I'm happy for. They're also talking about some guy. The two names that are actually in emerging candidates is Jim Caldwell and some guy named Kenny O'Connor, who I'm like, whatever. I heard some at Washington, he did decent there. So I'm kind of okay with that. But overall, we'll see what's going to be. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm just hoping that they get the right guy in here, and it's one of those guys I selected. But there could be just someone else that names are going to keep emerging. I'm trying to stay on top of this best I can, make a video, this and that. But I bet you within the end of this week or next by Monday they should have a coordinator. I don't know if they're going to interview him or they're just going to pick one, because I know they want to start this offseason off with at least a coordinator in place like that. So we'll see. Let's go Birds, flag was fly. Comment below on your thoughts. Let's go, baby.